Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, the newly minted $137 million man, Jimmy Garoppolo, and the San Francisco 49ers go head-to-head against Aaron Rodgers in the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in. And this offensive unit should have a lot of juice coming off the big output that they had 1 week ago.
Nothing like confidence, is there? When you've played well the week before, you can't wait to get back on the field and do it again.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
319!
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. They go play action for Montgomery, and now Rodgers. There's the first NFL catch for a name to remember, Equanimeous St. Brown. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Kyler Fackrell, the linebacker. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
The first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. 1st and 10 right at the 20. The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 22 carries, 78 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and that makes the score 7-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. With McKinnon. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Now McKinnon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Kevin King, the former Washington Husky, there defensively.
Defending an out route is awfully difficult because the best receivers try and sell an inside move before they break to the out, and you have to respect that as a defensive guy, because if you let them, what they say, cross your face or get across you in the middle of the field, usually you're beaten on a route, and that's an easier throw for the quarterback. So you ordinarily take a step over to make sure you seal that off. In this case, he was able to not only do that, but react back to the sideline and bat the ball down.
They go play action here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Rodgers now to throw. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
He's going to float this one deep right side. This is intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Well, they were obviously backed up, had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still trying to throw it, and...
Yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise them and catch them off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover and put your defense in a bad spot.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Here's McKinnon. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So after the run by McKinnon, here's 1st and 10. On first down, Garoppolo. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. McKinnon. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Muhammad Wilkerson elevated a Temple program that was looking for players like him, and he's carried that on into the NFL. What a terrific play there.
Yeah, a nice tackle for loss for the former Temple Owl, as you said, and the 30th pick in the 2011 draft. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. He's going to get it running right. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
And Gold is able to put it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Now Aaron Rodgers in the offense heading back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. That is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
But when it all comes together and you get the field goal block that's been designed, that's been drawn up, everyone has to feel good about on that side of the ball. How about that one there? To the left side, knew what they had. That's where they wanted to be, and they got their designated guy turned free.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. Interesting stat line right now. And technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. And a look now at the defensive starters for San Francisco.
And when you make an investment in a position, defensive line is a great place to do it, and the 49ers have done exactly that. Solomon Thomas, 2017 draft. Eric Armstead, 2015. DeForest Buckner, 2016. They should be a formidable defensive front.
On second down, Montgomery. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. It's the Packers on top early. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out.
319.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's got his target. That's Moore. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
To me, there's nothing like watching rookie effort in the NFL. So excited to be there. They're going to give you the max on each and every play, aren't they?
He proved himself on that catch, that's for sure.
I think he may have proved himself to the point where he's going to get a second here.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Delay of game, offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Still second down.
They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
12 more yards there and another first down.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's two guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Crosby on now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now a play fake here on first down. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Garoppolo on first down. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Able to find Garcon. And he's taken down inside the 30. That's good for a Niner 1st down. Garoppolo to Garcon.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. And his throw is incomplete.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Nick Perry in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete.
When we start looking for big-time corners, we're going to start with athleticism. But without technique, you're not going to make plays as one we just saw there.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage. But you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He only has a single solo carry, 1. Numero uno, 2nd quarter. They need to get him the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only 1 carry, kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball some more and find out.
Will they incorporate him? We'll find out.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Delay of game, offense.
Play clock hit 0. Don't know what went wrong there, Charles, but it's going to cost them 5 yards.
Has to be some organization from the sideline. Sometimes when you're trying to decide on what play to send in, the play caller has to move a little bit faster.
Following the penalty, Montgomery. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 1 yard officially on the pickup, And it'll leave them with a 3rd and 11.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's going to launch this thing. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Packers add on to their lead. And always a good 1st half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Crosby with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Crosby on now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. And to give this time to the tailback. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Garoppolo. Going to throw right side here. Complete. A good pickup there. 26 yards. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
Well, he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And Gold is able to put it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Ty Montgomery and the rest of his offensive mates to take over. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And able to find Graham, complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Two former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers finding his tight end, Graham. Packer first down.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Rodgers again now. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. To throw is Rodgers on 3rd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Rodgers now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And that's complete to Lewis. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago. And that one is still scoreless as they play in the 2nd quarter. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. On second down, here's Garoppolo. And incomplete.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun on third, Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Three red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Now Garoppolo. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Pierre Garçon, his first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
So that drive goes 8 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Gold now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Delay of game, offense.
Now flags, and we're going to get a delay of game.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can't he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. Rodgers to throw once more. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
319.
And again, it's Rodgers. And he finds Jimmy Graham. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Earl Mitchell gets him down there. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw in that play. No gain.
That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. So a nice little gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Open man is Taylor, he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Delayed game, offense.
Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in
Still
time.
first down.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
First man through, it's the fullback Juszczyk. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made by Montravius Adams. The Niners on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And able to find Garcon. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Complete to the right, this is Garcon. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And Old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Gould is able to put it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
Gets fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. The left side throw complete to Adams. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
58!
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Draw play, Rodgers to Montgomery. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And this is caught. He hits more. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a 1st down as well.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Rodgers to Montgomery on the draw. And he's got this down to the 35. And a nice carry there, 15 yards. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll come out in the pistol. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Delay of game, offense.
And they're not going to get this one off in time. It'll be a delay.
Still 3rd down.
How crucial will those 5 yards be? We'll see as they come up again here, 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jimmy Graham, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
Aaron Rodgers no longer has a safety blanket named Jordy Nelson to utilize in the red zone anymore. But picking up Jimmy Graham, that's a heck of a consolation prize. Remember, Jimmy Graham has had 4 seasons of 10 touchdowns or more, including 10 with the Seahawks in 2017.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead now up to 14. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the result, a Green Bay score. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. And the Niners move the chains as Garoppolo hooks up with Taylor. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. He rifles one that's intercepted. picked up by Josh Jones. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Now Crosby for the point after. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost...
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Nick Perry in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Garoppolo now. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Garoppolo, got to have this one. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. On second down, here's Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
They go play action here on first down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. That'll bring up second down.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. Packer pressure, and down he goes. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. On third and long, it's Garoppolo. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. With it is Jackson. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Green Bay, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams.